Welcome to your first day of Filmora 12. I know everything you see might look confusing and daunting, but it's actually quite easy. Everything is laid out in a really nice format for you to use. All you need to do is learn how to do it. Let's start with File, Project Settings. Whenever you start a project, these are the settings that will take effect. 16:9 is your normal everyday, we're going to call it landscape style video. 9:16 is your, we'll call it your shorts style video where you hold your camera in portrait mode. This is your resolution, it's 4K. If you want a smaller file, you can make this your default. You can always change it later. These are just defaults. 30 frames per second. We're going to save color space for a more advanced video. We're going to click Save as Default. So now, anytime I go to start a new project, everything that I just checked there a minute ago is now taking effect. Keyboard shortcuts. There's a lot of them, but there's only a couple you need to know about to get started. My favorite is mute. Now, you may see something different here, but I have chosen the letter M for mute. It's very handy, but you can set any letter you like. The other one I use very often is split. I chose S for split. Okay, very simple. If you just set those two, it will make your life a whole lot easier in the beginning. Split and mute. Under preferences, you'll need to set all of this up, and then that'll be the last time you'll need to set that up. So you go through and you check. I do not show the messages automatically. There is a way to go view the messages. And you go through and decide what you want and what you don't want. Folders is very important, so it knows where to automatically save stuff or default save stuff to. Editing, for now, I wouldn't change anything there. Save, it's the same thing. You need to know where you save your files to. And under performance, you should go ahead and do a GPU check right away. It will pick the best settings for you, but you can always pick other settings if you like. Okay? I know there's a lot in there I didn't talk about, all for another advanced video. I'm just here to get you guys started editing in 5 minutes or less. So you've set your preferences, you've set a couple special keys for split and mute. We've set up our project setting as a default for high definition for HD 16:9. Let's get going. Project media. This is all the clips that you're going to be using in your project. If you right click on the word folder, you can rename it. You can never delete this folder. You can delete the contents of the folder, but you can never delete this particular folder. So rename, you call it anything you want. I'm going to call it video 1. Right click, add a new folder, video 2. You might want to call it ocean, forest, beach, whatever you're trying to do. Now I want to show you that you can delete video 2, but you can never delete video 1 because it's a default built in. Okay, I'm going to show you what these are, and these will all be discussed in the future. Global media, there's a folder. If you have something you want to use on your laptop, or your hard drive I should say, on a regular basis, you can put it in here. So let's say you have a introduction video or an outro that you've created. You can pop it in here and use it across multiple projects. Cloud media. This is, Filmora gives you 1 GB of free space to do what you want with it. I've placed my Filmora 12 intro video out there as a demonstration. So now, wherever I am, on whatever machine I'm on, my phone, my PC, my Mac, a different PC, doesn't matter. I go to my cloud as long as I log in with the same account, and this file will be there for me to use. Adjustment layer is, again, for a future video, but simply said, it is a set of parameters that you can save as a layer and drop it on top of your video. So if you want to always have this weird bluish orange tint that you've created, you can save it here, call it blue orange tint, and it's always there for you. Just throw it on whatever layer you want. Stick with the basics. Video 1, highlight it. left mouse click. Video 2, highlight it, left mouse click. Delete folder, add new folder. Also works with the right click, delete and add. Okay, so you're going to be working inside of Project Media. I do recommend that you make folders and label them, because very often as you get more advanced, you will not finish a video in one day. You might even start another video on before you finish the previous one, and you're going to get all mixed up. Just label them. You'll know what's going on. Let's go to the top. There's a lot going on. I'm only going to show you enough to get started. That's the point of today. Layout mode. You are currently looking at classic. You can choose what you want. This is default. I like default. It gives you lots of information down the right side. You can go to organize. I'm not a big fan of organize, but it may work for you. Timeline. Probably my favorite on a large screen. When I'm using my PC and my big monitor, I'm going to be on timeline because my preview window will be much larger. You have to make a short. Now you can see over here, you'll be in the 9:16 ratio, and you can view your short. And classic is where I am, because I am currently on a small laptop, and I want to see as much of the player as I can see. Choose whatever works for you. This is all you need to know to get started. Set your preferences, set a couple keys, make a couple folder names, set your layout the way you want it, and let's go. Import a clip. You'll click here, it'll bring up your hard drive. Remember, we're working in 16:9 widescreen, or also called landscape, so make sure not to pick a video like this. It's a wrong resolution. Pick a video like this. You can pick videos or photographs, whatever you want to put in these folders, and I'm just showing you a demonstration. So there we go. I have something in each one. Let's start with video 2, the tree. There are 2 ways to get this to the timeline, and everything down here is called the timeline. This track with the musical symbol is a music track. You can add lots of music tracks. This is a video track. You can add lots of video tracks. This will hide the track, extremely useful, as you will see. Mute the track if you've got some sound in there you don't want to hear. And you can lock the track, which will keep you from moving it around by accident. This is auto ripple. This will be explained in great detail in another video, but for today, make sure you leave auto ripple on. We'll go over it later, and for the purpose of this video, leave everything else exactly the way you see it. We're going to get into everything later. This is to get you up and running quickly. There are 2 ways to get your clip down to your timeline. One is to simply click the plus button, add to project. It'll put it in the first available space. The other way to add it to the timeline is left click, hold, and drag. That's my preferred way. I can put it where I want it. Okay, so I pulled in a video, or in this case, a photograph. Let's go up to video 1. Now I'm going to grab another one. Just going to set it right in there. Okay. As long as you haven't changed any of the defaults, it's going to snap. You see it snap right next to it, and that's the way I like it, but there are many times where I have to turn that off. That will be talked about in another video. Okay, you have now created your video. You have a tree and some people having lunch. So that is your very first video. Congratulations, you're almost done. If you want to save this file, you'll go to File, and what we're doing is saving a project. So you can hit Save Project and it'll choose a default. I always go to Save Project As. You'll have a place somewhere to put it, title it whatever you want, and it'll save it as a project for you. Save your project as often as you like, but remember, in the preferences, under Save, back up my project every 5 minutes. As long as you didn't change that, you're pretty safe. It'll auto back it up every 5 minutes. Now we want to get this file exported and get it up to YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Big export button right here. Click it. Match to project settings. We set our project to high definition, HD 1920 by 1080. You can change it here, no problem. Quality, high, recommend, lower. I usually go with recommend because if your files gets too big, it's really hard to upload them. Yes, I always have GPU accelerated video encoding. If your GPU can use that, it will be enabled for you. Choose a name, choose a place, choose a folder. You can go in here and muck around with things, but in the beginning I would not do that, and then you just simply export the file. So we just export the file. Done. That file is now exported. If I open the folder, I called it name, and there it is. It's ready to upload. So that is your very first ever video. In our next episode, we're going to go a little further. We're going to do some transitions. We're going to do some titles. We're going to do a few other more slightly advanced things, but not so advanced where you can't do it in a quick hurry. So grab your files from your camera, put them on your hard drive, make a folder, import your media, just grab all your files. They'll all be in this folder somewhere or in this folder somewhere. And as long as you're saving the project, next time you open the project, all your folders will be there. Everything will be great. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video where we move ahead just a little more.